So come a little bit this way. Bottom leg straight, top leg bent. Make sure we're still got a good view of what we're going to work on. Perfect.
I tried it on my dad. That was I mean, we were both just tears laughing.
I'll have to tell you a story here sometime in a minute. Anyway, okay, so here I'm going to help them figure out where to go. Okay. That's your rib. So we'll start right there.
Okay.
Spinous process.
Spinous process is
that little point right there. Feel that little spot there? I mean, can you feel me?
Yeah.
You can feel me on a pointy thing, and I'm in a space. One above, one below. Okay? So now I got to find another space.
You're in a space, you mean like between the vertebrae?
Yeah. I'm in a space between, because I'm on top of the one. I'm on top of the spinous process. Feel me pushing on it? That's a bone. Your finger is on the bottom of it. Now you're right on the, you're kind of coming around to the top of it, see? So as you come down, see there's a little space there, because there's the next one. So we're gonna leave that space, and then we're gonna come up underneath the one below it. So if we're gonna compress two vertebrae, we need to leave a space, so that when we roll you up and in, right there, we got it. That's all there is to it. Relax right there. And I don't work very hard with my hands.
What are you using to pull me back?
Just, have you ever had a CPR class?
Yeah, when I was like a sophomore.
Okay, well, I just have you, and then I let your body weight go where I want it to go. And then I just take this whole thing and roll forward. And when I roll you forward, that little bit of force there causes that to come together. I'll show you now. So that's that piece of it. Now we're going to do your hip, just for fun. So those knees come up, the back relaxes, and you come into there. And you look for that bone right there. That's called your PSIS, posterior superior iliac spine. Iliac. Posterior superior iliac spine. PS. Well, this is your ilium, and that's like the bony part of your ilium. I'll show you in a second. I'll show you on the skeleton exactly where everything is. So we come in and we get on the sacrum. Well, here's your spine. So we went on the side of the sacrum. We want it to flex as far as we can, and we want to take this bone. There's not going to be much slack then. We just want to roll him back. And you're really tight here today. There it goes. To it. And then flip all the way over that way. That way our camera's still got us.
Is there a muscle, are there some muscles or exercises that support that don't allow the hip to get tight like that? Or is that just a stretching thing?
It's a little bit of stretching. I found when I started playing tennis again, it kept going out. I mean, about every week, every 2 weeks, I'd have something else I probably have to fix.
Somebody else would do.
Yeah. And I worked in a clinic where everybody knew this at the time. They were the ones that taught me first. Right. They told me I had to learn it. When I went to work, they said, we don't care what else you do. You can use magnets if you want to. You can do hocus pocus, but you have to learn this too, because this is what we did. Huh. And so I was getting a good, they were fixing me, and then I learned went to the guru's class. But what I ended up doing was I just had to get back in shape. I mean, I ran backwards and did a ton of lateral running, long ways. Surprising how far we drop, even when we think we're in good shape. Because they hadn't been that long at that point when I was probably at my lowest weight I'd been in 20 years. And I could ride my bike 100 miles. I mean, I was doing I did an Olympic distance triathlon at a decent time. I was doing sprint distance triathlons, I wasn't super fast. Swim, I don't remember. I was averaging I could get about 19.5 to 20 miles an hour on my bike. And then I could run a 24 minute 5K right in there. You know, bang, bang, bang. Boom. But that's just start and stop.
So it's just a matter of doing that movement a lot without going so far that you yourself.
Yeah. And then I did a lot of like lateral monster walks with my glutes. Just pulling the band and kind of walking like this. Oh, that'll burn my butt in no time. So now we're going to do flexion in your low back. Because with what usually happens to you, you have to do a little flexion, and only at L5 really. So that's right here. It's right here. Lean it back. Just get a little pressure to where you feel that little guy right there separate. You feel that little bit of separation in my fingers? Feel how that pulls apart? Perfect. Okay. So what we're going to do now, come stand up and you can watch. We're going to give this little spine. We're going to put him in the same spot.
This is great. This stuff fascinates me. You make me want to be a PT.
So, got to get your right side. Here's you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rip. Okay. Here. Rock back. And when I pull you forward, that's what happens. Just that little, see right here.
So this one's going down.
I'm going down. I've got a little forward downward pressure. When I roll you this way, that's what they have to do. I'm not doing much to make that approximate like that. Don't force it. Just let the roll take place, because that makes these joints move the way they're supposed to. See, they all work that way.
So these are harder, I guess.
Well, and then you get down here, and then it's a little different. But that's never been your problem.
And the other thing was this area.
So then we get here, fingers here, and then it's the same move, except it's a flexion move now.
So you're sort of pulling this one this way?
This one's going this way. So my fingers, all my work takes place here. If you ever feel me, you feel my fingers kind of powerful, but that's where the force is coming from, not my fingers pulling down by locking you.
And this one just pulls this way.
This one, here's your PSIS. Right there. Right, actually right there. So you get right there on that little bony bump. Gives you something to hold on to. And then you just, and it doesn't move very far.
But can I just try doing it on this
thing
on this guy? So
Yeah.
you come, first of all you go under the,
Yeah, that's so I can roll this back to start getting that twist.
so you start it by twisting it.
Mhm.
Back over. So say we're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, right there.
And you come around under this way,
Mhm.
and you're over this way, and you start about how to roll and come back that
Rolling
way.
back and feeling that, keep rolling them back till you feel pressure, until you feel this guy move. Because if you keep rolling people back, then you're there, and then you're there. And then you just, no, you don't have to force. No, so just put your fingers there and roll him back. See, then there's no effort. Look how they compress.
So you're kind of holding this one in place.
just holding it in place and letting your body do the rest.
And you could do that on any of these.
Yep, this finger needs to come up here.
Right on the
that
tip,
you
huh?
Right on the tip, so that and as you get a little better, you can kind of get a finger on this transverse process, so that when you roll up, you get this compression right there. That's what you're trying to do, is compress. Glide and compress.
So you're spinning back.
Yeah, see, that roll is where it all comes from.
Huh.
That is the critical
That's
piece
fascinating.
of the puzzle.
Gotcha.
If you use those arms and yank, that's what gets it all messed
The
up.
roll starting in
Rolling them back, getting them set up, and then as they're locked, because as I roll you back this way and kind of lock you here, now there's no rotation. I've taken all the rotation out of it, and then as I pull you up,
this kind of stays in
it stays in place, and all the force goes right there. When I bring you forward, you can kind of feel it in your fingers.